I'm Thomas Moore. I'm here from Alexandria, Virginia, which we sometimes jokingly refer to as occupied Virginia. I'm a native of Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm here with a number of other Southern organizations on behalf of the Southern National Congress Committee. The S&C Committee is the convening and organizing body for what we hope will be a future Southern National Congress. That Congress, when it meets, will be a representative forum for the people of the South to present their grievances, speak about their concerns, and offer their solutions in a way that is really now foreclosed to us by the corrupt and self-serving political system. Well, I'm here partly in my incarnation as an author. I've written this work of fiction called The Hunt for Confederate Gold, and it's based on one of America's great unsolved mysteries. What happened to the Confederate treasury when Richmond fell to the Union in April of 1865? It's a political thriller, a love story, a sort of dissident piece of fiction. And my proposition was that storytelling is often a good way to get our ideas across. There are a lot of really fine narrative, nonfiction, polemical, and advocacy books, but sometimes people will read a story when they might not otherwise read a piece of nonfiction. So this book really does chronicle the dangers, the growing dangers to our liberty of empire, and offers a distinctly Southern solution to how we meet that threat to our liberty and our prosperity. You know, we Southerners sometimes flatter ourselves because of our historical experience that secession is a Southern thing. It is by no means a Southern thing. We have people from New England, people from the Southwest, Alaska, and the Pacific Northwest. And what this tells me is that everyone around this country, not just Southerners, is yearning for liberty, yearning for a rediscovery of their local roots, of local autonomy and self-determination. It's true that we perhaps have all arrived at this common position from different perspectives. Some people want to be free of the red states. Some people want to be free of the blue states. What I have discovered is that those old categories, the old left-right, conservative, liberal dichotomies, really no longer apply in today's situation. All of those old categories have been reshuffled, as it were. And I find that where we have common ground in a sort of rough way as libertarian populists, does allow us to work together because we're not seeking to impose our particular culture or regional solution on the other. The South and its people are distinct people, and that's true of the people of Hawaii and Puerto Rico, the people of the Pacific Northwest, the people of New England. And in the idea of secession and local autonomy and local self-determination, people are free to be who they are without some centralized unitary system imposing itself and leveling all of those differences. So that's how we can achieve this, because we respect the differences of each other. Speaking only for myself, but I believe this view is shared by many Southerners and certainly many at this convention, the current administration is acting, how shall I say, it is using the pretext of an unlimited war to aggrandize and centralize unprecedented powers on the part of the federal government. The Bush administration is acting in a way that threatens our basic liberty by undermining our ancient right of habeas corpus, and that is the foundation of all civil and political liberty, going all the way back to Magna Carta in 1215. The Bush administration, with an acquiescent Congress, has undermined or jeopardized the ancient right of posse comitatus, which limits the ability to use military force domestically. And I believe that we are standing on the threshold of something very dangerous in this country, when the federal government's powers are no longer limited or accountable, when the traditional checks and balances in our system no longer work, and when the government has unlimited power and is the arbiter of what its powers are and really answers to no one. I think what is really crazy is to believe that we can keep doing what we're doing and expect a different result. That is, in fact, the definition of insanity. And it's very clear that the political process no longer serves the people. It serves only itself. Congress doesn't represent the people or the American interest. It has sold itself to the highest bidder, which usually means, not always, but usually the big corporate and money interests. So it's insane to think that that is going to produce any different outcome. We have to begin to look for a new paradigm, to use that cliche, think and act outside of the box, and look for new ways to protect our liberty and our prosperity. Most people can only imagine what they are used to or what they have been indoctrinated into accepting. And that is a vast empire governed by a centralized, unitary government from Washington. But there's no inherent reason why that must continue to exist. And frankly, it is so inefficient and incompetent that it can't exist much longer anyway. But eventually it will implode, much in the same way that the Soviet Union did, and for many of the same reasons. I think we need to be radical in the sense that that word comes from the Latin meaning roots. We need to go back to our roots and rediscover the principles and the ethos that founded what was once a great republic of liberty and prosperity. I believe what we're doing is to create alternative, parallel institutions that have the legitimacy or the moral authority that the American empire is losing. Or better, I wouldn't say losing, it is forfeiting by its own corruption, greed, and oppression. There's a great crisis of the nation state today. This is a global phenomenon, not just in America. And so in order to succeed in seceding, shall we say, we have to begin to create local institutions that people can transfer their allegiance to. There's great power in our refusal, in exercising our limited sovereignty to say no to the criminal misbehavior of the empire. But that by itself is not enough. We have to begin to create solutions. We have to begin to create institutions to which people can transfer their allegiance as they withdraw it from the empire.